I gotta learn how to edit these things better. Let's get the glue off my fingers. In every lesson, I want to get a little better at recording these things and splicing them together. So I don't want to let down my dog, who I can't. Do I know how to do this? Do I turn it around to see my dog? See, I don't even know how my camera works. Kayak! You're supposed to be executive producing these things. Are you with me? Do you know what's up? I'm not so sure if I feel comfortable with his direction. I gotta learn how to edit these things better. Let's get the glue off my fingers. In every lesson, I want to get a little better at recording these things and splicing them together. So I don't want to let down my dog, who I can't. Do I know how to do this? Do I turn it around to see my dog? See, I don't even know how my camera works. Kayak! You're supposed to be executive producing these things. Are you with me? Do you know what's up? I'm not so sure if I feel comfortable with his direction. Okay, today's lesson is going to be on bar chords and building them and using them and stuff like that. This lesson is a little bit for more beginner students. I'd like to thank Chris Gorges. He's a comedian friend of mine for requesting this lesson. Bar chords are very important. It's the most building blocks of all songs when it comes to rock and roll. Duchess agrees with me, my bird. Isn't that right? See? Bar chords. Today I'm tuned to standard because Chris tunes to standard. Tune your guitar just to 440. This is what I am. Bar chords are a staple of pretty much any rock song you've ever heard in your whole life. I mean, everything from, Doobie Brothers. That's all bar chords. And they build every song there is. And today I'll show you how to build those and how to use those. Okay. Every note has a chord associated with it, obviously, A through G, all of them. And the little trick to that is a shape that you can take anywhere on the guitar for the top 3 strings and make a bar chord. And that shape is this. A full bar chord is just like an F note, the really hard one when you start. F chord. F chord. That's pretty much a bar chord. That's the root of every bar chord. There's an A bar chord. You usually only hear this, but that's all the notes. That's a really tough chord to make for some people who are just starting to play first year or so. The hardest chord there is the F chord. And down here, it's starting a tough chord to make. But to get that actually rock sound, all you really need is the root notes of every bar chord. And what you do is you take the note, A note, let's say the A note, find that on the string, on the E string, and you just skip 1 fret, put your next finger at the next string, which would be a E note of the A string. That's your A bar chord. Anywhere you move this, your root note is that chord. Okay, so if you move this up to the 3rd dot, remember we talked about the dots in the last segment? Your 3rd dot would be a B note. That's that note. If you move up skip 1 fret and drop down 1 string, that's a B bar chord. This can be done anywhere on the guitar, anywhere on the guitar. And on the top 3 strings, it's all the same rule. If you go to your A string and you go to your 5th fret, which is a C sharp note, drop down 1 string, skip 1 note, you have a C sharp bar chord. C sharp. This is a very, very, very cool thing to learn, a very cool thing to work on. And there's a bunch of easy exercises you can do that even sound like stuff like Stairway to Heaven. There's a bar chord section at the end of that. It's great practice for students. All it is timing's a little different, but I'm trying to make it easy. But it's just bar chords. All that is those bar chords, those bottom 2 root notes. You can do 3 if you want, triad. But just the top 2 is all you need to really work on it. Dokken uses them, if you remember Dokken. So another thing too is I recommend using the right strings for each fret. If you're down here, you want to use those fingers like that. But you can use your pinky. Lots of guys, Eddie Van Halen, Yngwie, Nuno, all those guys, a lot of them, when they do a bar chord, they use their pinky instead of using their 3rd finger. You can use either one. I use both. It just depends where I'm at. Like with the Dokken, you can see I was using my pinky instead of going. You can do it either way. Everybody uses them. Van Halen uses bar chords in pretty much everything they do. That's a drone, the bar chord with a drone note. Everybody uses bar chords, and those bar chords there, actually, that's a good exercise for your A string with bar chords, is to do a drone note with it to help you work on it, which is really cool, like I did with the Dokken, hear that E? Droning that E? That's called droning. A lot of bands do that too. That's a good thing to work on with your bar chords too. You can do that with real easy stuff too, like I just said. You can make up your own rhythms to make it easier for you with bar chords, like Sounds like the Cars. Just try to stay in key with it. Just drone that E, and then switch up. Doesn't sound great, but it's good exercise. Make sure you work on your bar chords and your lower registers too, because those are the hardest places to play them. Down here. Switch up with them. That's a good practice. Top 2 strings. Drop down 2 strings to your A and your D string. Same structure. Just those 3 notes. First note, E string. First note, A string. Third note, D string. It's almost a punk thing like Chris Gorges likes. You can do a lot of punk with bar chords, Chris. A lot of punk. But that's bar chords. And just remember, every chord you know on guitar has a bar chord. D chord. Bar chord. C. A. But I hope this lesson has helped, and I hope to get better at making these things. And just keep sending them to me if there's something you want to learn, or a certain song you want me to go over, or a technique, or anything you want to learn. Just message it to me, put it in the comments, whatever, and I will do that thing for you.